Chris and Mitch here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Those that were tuned in a couple minutes ago, I don't know what happened. It's the power didn't go out of my house. I just had like a power surge in the studio. It was so weird because it was like, I don't know what you guys saw on the screen, but like it was like everything just went blank. Like my soundboard was off, my computer's off. Meanwhile, like the sound system in the house and everything, totally, like, because I have a media closet, that has like all the media stuff for the house, like, for the overhead speakers and the surround sound and all the speakers out by the pool and everything. And I went to the media closet and like everything was still on, except for the internet, which was like, so I'd lost internet. I lost, like power in the studio and all kinds of stuff. But, we'll give everybody a couple minutes to rejoin us. We'll recap what we talked about on the first part of the show. Chris and I spent about the first 7-8 minutes of it talking about college football, kind of killing time. Then Chris went into a slight rant / tirade about the Philadelphia Phillies, the bullpen, Suarez in general, and, maybe the city of Philadelphia as well. So all of those things all came into play. Then what else happened? Let's see. We went over a couple of games, and we'll recap those quickly as part of the show. But we'll give everybody a chance to rejoin us. Yeah, so I don't know what you guys saw on the other end, but it was like, on my end, it was like, whoa, man. It was like, I thought it was like an earthquake or something. I wasn't even sure. It was so weird. Like, it happens. It's amazing that, did thousands of videos and shows and everything like that, and how infrequently something like that happens. You would think it would happen more often than that. Oh, Chris, I don't even have your background set up anymore. You're in front of the green curtain.
Oh no, I feel bare.
I like the guys like on the other shows that do like some house that's not theirs. Like those are like my favorite. Like I was like, here you go. It's like there's a house that's not Chris's. Just put it up. Oh, how about like a sports memorabilia room? We should. What I want to do is find the same. In the tunnel.
Oh, no. Oh God.
How about this one? This is like an actual default background for our video stuff. This is a good one. Watch this. It's a white wall. That's like one of the options. White wall. There's Chris on the beach, without the Speedo. There's in bricks.
As far as you know.
In his castle. We should just leave you there, outside the castle walls. This is like 1978, or this is like 1980s. And you got the home office. This is like a neat freak. Palm trees. This is like my yard. This is my yard, basically. Except we don't have the Schefflera trees, but let's see. And then we can just go to this one, a regular PickDawgz. But anyways, yeah. Yes, we're back. We're just giving everybody a chance to rejoin us. But let's go back over what we were talking about real quickly. Chris, we did the let me just go back to this and get us set up on this side. Kind of, it's like I have more fun mocking things than actually doing the shows, Sometimes I get really into the stuff that we're talking about. A lot of times I'm just really here to just mock whatever I can. So we did the Guardians and the Orioles. In this one, we went over this, and I like the Orioles plus the 1.5, but I like the Guardians to win the game. So I would hit both sides of this thing. And I think it's one of those things that you could probably middle it out. And it's like either you could win both sides, you'll win one side or win the other side or something, It's kind of one of those things. But I think you can nail this one right in the middle. I think a Guardians 1-run win, and I like the under too. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I like the under as well. I was leaning towards the Orioles just based on value because, they've really sort of been punching above their weight. But yeah, I think the under for me might be the stronger play of the two. I like that pitching matchup, Watkins and Quantrill.
Watkins and Quantrill.
Sounds like a bad law firm.
Yeah, it sounds like a bad law firm. So our other game that we had a chance to go over was the Rays-Marlins. And those of you that are joining us this time that were not with us before, what happened was Chris and I were doing the show, and we're kind of just rolling right along, and all of a sudden I had a power surge in my studio. And the show got wiped out. So instead of just picking up where we left off, we're going to kind of just recap what we talked about and then just go from there. So Rays Marlins, I said in this one that I really was looking for a way to take the Marlins here, but they've lost 15 in a row to American League East teams, and that's basically, I use the catch a falling knife analogy here, but I do like the value on the Marlins. I do like Luzardo here. I like kind of like all those things. So if the Marlins are going to snap the streak, well, let's just say I might have a little wager on them personally.
Yeah, I still like the Rays and the run line here. Just the offensive issues for the Marlins, too much for me to really get past. I know Shane McClanahan, not what he was early on in the season, but he's pitched well his last couple of outings. And I just think this is a game where, the Rays win this one by 2 or 3 runs, 5-2, 4-1, 5-3, something like that. But yeah, I think the Rays and the run line was my play here.
All right, so we go to our next game, and this was the Reds and the Cardinals. This is where we lost it, right? We were on this game, and I was kind of bad-mouthing Chase Anderson. I think that's exactly where we left off is, how I was, maybe it was, Chase Anderson's family or something striking me down because I was basically saying, where do they get off trying to reel out Chase Anderson on this? I mean, he got absolutely shellacked. I had the over in this one. I gave it out on our YouTube premium show as well. The over in the Cardinals Reds. Chris, any kind of a different story going to happen here today at Great American Ballpark?
I've been fired with those YouTube VIP and premium picks the last couple of days. So another good one yesterday, and I think it carries over to today as well. I do like Justin Dunn. I think he's got some solid stuff, but the Cardinals just not a team I'm looking to step in front of right now, especially the way they're swinging the bat. But the equalizer for the Reds here is Dakota Hudson on the other side. He hasn't been great on the road this season, and he's been touched up in his last few starts. I think the Cardinals, keep the momentum going. I think they get a win here, but I think the over 10 might be the better play in this one.
You think the Reds make a move at manager after this season? And they didn't do anything this year,
Yeah, I think they could. There's definitely a lot of viable options out there, and David Bell just doesn't seem like he's cutting it right now. But I don't know. It almost seems like they're going to keep him, just sort of go with the motions, go through the rebuild. There weren't many expectations for the Reds, and
well,
I think they'll keep him at least for another season.
Anyone that's watched our show for the last, several years knows I'm big on Justin Dunn. So I'm not going anywhere except for I'm going to take the Reds in this one. Not a premium, not anything of that stretch of the imagination, but at the same time, I like the odds here on Justin Dunn. I think he's a better option than Dakota Hudson. But the Cardinals' bats have been off the chain. Like Chris said, you don't want to step in front of a Cardinal bat. Let's go to our next game here, and it is the Nationals and the A's. Now, this is the one we've kind of been waiting for. This is, last place in the National League versus last place in the American League. who stinks more? I mean, which place has the worst stench, Chris? I mean, we're asking, what do you think here? I mean, these are the Nationals have given up so many runs this season.
Yeah, they have. But for me, this is still not a spot where I think we get a ton of runs. These are still obviously two of the worst offenses in baseball. And, for all their shortcomings, they're actually two of the better pitchers in their respective rotations. Cole Irvin, he had a rough stretch, but bounced back with a shutout in his last start. I don't expect the Nationals to do a ton of damage off of him. But on the other side, Eric Fede, has been consistently decent for the Nationals. He's had a couple of blow-up starts here and there, but for the most part, he's been pretty good. He's held opposing teams to 2 or maybe even 3 runs in a start. I think 8.5 just too high for this game. I think it's 3-2 at most, or maybe even at the absolute worst 4-3, whichever way you have it going. But I don't see it getting to 8.5. I like the under in this one. Lean towards the Nationals as well. I know the A's play better on the road, but under the better play here for me.
Yeah, I think for me, I like the A's in this one. I just think they played better on the road. They took care of business against the Yankees. They faced much tougher than what they face here. And I just think the A's go into Washington, bust up the Nationals. Got the Blue Jays taking on the Cubs, and I had the Cubs. I actually bet on the Cubs personally yesterday. It's one of those rare occasions, and I actually thought I was going to win. But I know that everybody lost on this one, because if you had the Cubs, you lost, and most people that took the Jays took them on the run line. They lost. I guess this is the one, when people talk about like a team getting upset, that's a Vegas game, but that Cubs-Blue Jays game was a real Vegas game, right, Chris? I mean, that was that's a real Vegas game. That's not like you get, one team beating another team. It's just part of sports, that's why they play the game. But a game that lands like kind of like that one did, that's a real Vegas game.
Yeah, you were talking about how you were going to middle the Orioles and Guardians game with taking the +1.5. This was the opposite of that yesterday, where if you had the Blue Jays on the run line, you lost, and you had the Cubs money line, you lost, and there was kind of that gap where all the rest of that money sort of fell in between. And I don't want to take the chance on that happening today, so I'm going to take the under in this one. Marcus Stroman this season has perennially pitched well, and even going back to last year, I think pitched better on the road. He's done it a lot this season. He's pitched a bigger sample size on the road as well. And while Kevin Gausman's been inconsistent, alternating good starts and bad starts in his last 4, that pattern continues. He's due for a good start here against the Chicago Cubs here. So I'm going to go with the under 8.5 in this one. Sorry, 7.5.
I like the over in this one. Gausman is just, he's terrible. Stroman is worse. You got 2 bad pitchers. I can't get behind the Blue Jays after what we saw from them this past weekend, and I certainly can't get behind Marcus Stroman after that beatdown that the Cardinals put on him. I mean, that to me was one of the worst undressings of the entire season. And while it wasn't like, just an overall pounding, it was kind of like pick, right? They just kind of picked him to pieces. And it just seemed like he didn't want to be there. And it's not really the way that we've known Stroman throughout the years either. He's always been, at least even if he's not the most talented guy out there, he's never been a Jacob deGrom, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, right? But he's also never been an Andrew Cashner, Mike Minor, either. He's always kind of been a reliable 3, 2, 3. Sometimes he's out of position. They have him too high. But I've never seen him just absolutely disinterested like we saw him last time out. So I don't know. I think if you're disinterested in front of this Jays lineup, you can get bruised. And Kevin Gausman, well, let's just say he's been getting bruised his entire career. He's had one good season, as far in my opinion. So the Gausman apologists can come back out there and say all they wish. So weird. Is everyone watching this on on Facebook? Is that what's going on? Or is it just the way that everything's coming through today?
It's just the way everything's coming through.
It's so weird, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, after we lost power. Chris, what are you selling today?
Well, for me today, I got my my $15 pick-off play. And I won't go into any more hate spiel on the Phillies, but we're going to bounce back today. A rough one yesterday, hit a bit of a speed bump, but I love today's card. I got that $15 pick-off play. I also got a 5-pack with that $15 pick-off play included for $50 over at PickDawgz Premium. Or use that promo code OG15, still get 15% off. And make sure you check out the YouTube VIP Premium as well. We're absolutely crushing it over there as well.
I got my $15 big play, and I also have 5 other picks. I love today's card. So this is the most picks I've had in a long time for Major League Baseball. So I really like it. I like it. I like it. Anyways. Speaking of liking it, Jorge Kirby on the mound here against the Detroit Tigers, Matt Manning. These are 2 pitchers, and I said this in my YouTube video, that I believe, while they might not be on these teams forever, I believe these are 2 pitchers that could be facing off or, be part of Major League Baseball for a very, very long time. These guys super young, and super talented. The Mariners hanging on to that wild card spot. The Tigers, scrappy at times, crappy at others. What do you see here?
Honestly, what I see the most here happening is the under. I think it's hard to, I lean towards the Mariners for the side, but just the inconsistencies, as of late, make 175 kind of hard to swallow. But I see, you see George Kirby just pitching fantastic right now. I think he's allowed 2 runs or less in 7 of his last 8 starts. And Matt Manning, since rejoining the Tigers rotation, has had a couple of struggle starts, but those struggles have come on the road. He's allowed just 1 run in 3 starts at home in the month of August. And I think we just have a low-scoring game here as well. I like the under 8, and I also lean towards the Mariners.
Yeah, to me, it's like the Tigers, I think, have played pretty decently in spots. Like I said, I just think they're wearing down. And I just think that in other spots, I might like the Tigers more against other pitchers on the Mariners. But we know, I'm big on Jorge Kirby. So George Kirby. I don't know how did we end up calling him Jorge? I have no idea.
Because he was playing, I think he was playing the Angels once, and it was Berea on the other side.
That'll do it.
The Angels.
That was
Berea, not Jorge Kirby.
No one digresses like we do. That's for sure.
There might be more inside jokes on this show than I think I've ever seen.
We should just change the name of the show to I Digress.
Where you start talking about every game and then you have a random sidebar story for every game.
Oh man, I have random sidebars too. I think I should do nah, I'm not even gonna go there. Not going there. All right. Go to our next game, and it's going to be the Braves against the Rockies. Chris, if there's ever an excuse for a game to not be played, I think this could be the one. I think this one is a foregone conclusion. I think this one is a stone cold lock. I think this one is a thank me later. I think this one is all of those things wrapped into one. I think the Rockies I think this is the type of game, if the Rockies come out and score a run first, that ESPN will still have the Braves with a 400% chance of winning this game. Kind of like a few years ago when the Cardinals, when they drafted first that year, they were up 14-0 in the NFL game, and ESPN still had the probability of them losing at 97%. And it's like, I think that's this type of game here for the Rockies with Jose Urena against Max Fried. The books aren't even giving you a reasonable spread on this game. I mean, that's how bad it is. And we're talking almost minus 400. And I think if you hunt hard enough, I'm sure you could find that minus 400. I got to go. I never take odds like this, but I don't even see any way. And I'm the guy, I'm the dog hunter, right? It's like I've tried and find excuses to, to take the dogs, but I just don't see anything here that can get me on the Rockies. How about you, Chris?
No, nothing at all. And that's why I'm with you. I was trying to sort of find a bit of value for this game, and I think the best value that I found was the Braves team total in the first five over 2.5 at -130. I think that's the way to go in this one. I'm with you. I think they tee off on Urania, and we have 5 innings to get 3 runs. We might not even need 2 innings to get 3 runs in this one. I think it's all Braves all day here. But I don't want to be going out laying -2.5, -3.5 just for even money. I think the team total, if you're on the Braves, I think like we are here, that's the best way to take advantage of the Braves and the matchup in this spot is go with the team total.
Yeah, I just do not see it here. I think the books are going to get crushed on this thing, and they know it. That's why they have that big number out there. We'll go to the feature series of the week, and this is the Mets and the Dodgers. Taijuan Walker up against Andrew Heaney. Andrew Heaney favored in this game at New York against the Mets. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I that didn't make sense to me either. I thought it should have been closer to a coin flip, if not the Mets being favored here. I do like the Mets. Like when Taijuan Walker pitching, he hasn't been great in his last few starts. He has had a couple starts where he went 2 innings and 1 inning, but those starts came against the Atlanta Braves. Came back, looked decent, 5 innings with 2 runs against the Yankees. And like you said, Andrew Heaney for me just not a pitcher that really should be favored in this kind of spot, despite a 2.59 ERA in his last 7. I think the Mets playing well enough right now to get the win here, especially after the day off, while the Dodgers had to travel in from Miami. So, give me the Mets here.
I'm going to start showing all the comments from now on, even the bad ones. New day, new idea. Let's show every comment, good, bad, sideways. I think we'll have fun with it. Give us something more to talk about. I don't get the you suck comments anymore. I just don't get them the way I used to. I hate you. I want to kill you. I do. Normally, the internet bullies, the I want to kill you guys, they've changed now to how you wouldn't say that to my face. It's like, I hopefully I never see your face. It's like, I have no idea. It's like I'm some guy on YouTube giving out sports picks. It's like, I think you're getting a little carried away with yourself. It's like, so funny. Then you have the other guys that want to run the company. It's like, well, Chris is on the morning show. We want to see this guy on the morning show. This guy is like, you want. There's a reason why you're not running it, right? It's like because you clearly don't understand what's involved here. It's like it's herding cats. So it is, yeah. Then you have people that think that. It's like we're all work together because we're best friends or something. It's like. We're friends. We all get along and everything like that. But it's like everyone has their own set of friends and family and stuff. This is a job. People do this. They make money. I pay everybody. I try and overpay best I can when I can. That's what I do. It's like there'll never be a business analyst that looks at our company and says, "Wow, this Mitch really runs this thing tip top." It's like. These guys are like, I'm going to Vegas, whatever. I'm like, yeah, here's a few $100. Have a good time. It's like, I don't know. It's like not in the manual. Anyways, yeah, I got to bet against Andrew Heaney. Can't stand him. Bugs me. Oh, man. I could write a book. When all is said and done, when I retire, that's what I'm going to do is write a book about this stuff because it is just, people wouldn't even believe it, They wouldn't even believe it. Some of the stuff. I don't even answer the messages, the instant messages anymore. If you see, this is why I always say don't DM me on, Twitter or Facebook or any of those things because we have other people that answer those. So if it's a jerk message or something like that, I never even get a chance to see it to mock you. And then on the other side of it, it's if it's they might tell me, oh, this person sent a message and whatever, but I don't actually see the messages or anything. So like, but on emails, I do read those. So if you're gonna mock me and threaten me, email's the way to do it. That was my business partner's idea. It's like, Mitch should not do any of the customer service stuff like that. I love talking to everybody. That's the whole thing. I really enjoy it. I feel like our community, like we're all big family. Like I know everybody, It's like I never feel like it. Like I've met a lot of people from the audience, and from fans of the site, and it's like we're always getting along just like we're friends. Like I've met Chris a bunch of times in real life. It's like the first time we met, it was like we knew each other forever. It was not a big deal. The others, I see the other site ass slapping each other like they're in some big club together. It's like let's just call it the We're Full of Shit club. Saturday, Ohio State minus 17.5 and over 58.5. Jeff Leinhart giving out picks. What if Ohio State's quarterback gets busted with a hooker between now and then? Do you still like that? That's what happens. People put their bets in for Saturday games on Tuesdays. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying, let's just say stranger things have happened, right? Remember the golden pants tattoo, the tattoo parlor and the golden pants. But anyways, man, Texas Rangers against the Astros. Dane Dunning against our good friend Framber Valdez.
Yeah. I like the Houston Astros a lot here. I just think Valdez pitching very well, against the Texas Rangers. And Dane Dunning's pitched well at home this season, but the Rangers have scored just over 3 runs per game against Houston this season. Maybe that contributes itself towards another under. I mean, the Astros still one of the best under teams in the league. But I think I'm going to go with the Houston Astros in this one.
Imagine taking the Arizona Diamondbacks -1. I gave out the Diamondbacks as a premium yesterday. If you got my premium picks, you got that. I don't know if we're doing the capper contest this year. I don't think so. Leaning towards against. I just think that too much has happened over the course of this past year to do it. I just think that I definitely would like to bring on a couple more cappers onto the site. I think we could use a couple cappers, but I want guys with experience, and I want guys that have kind of proved it, have experience, and that don't support or aren't part of everything that's wrong with this business, So it's like, it's super hard because a lot of people that are up and coming, they don't understand that piece of it and how I am about it, even though I'm so super transparent about it. It's like, I just think that there's so many things that are wrong with this industry. And no, it's actually the extra work with the judging of the capper contest that we have fixed. I have my business partners. They do the contest for FanDuel and for DraftKings and for BetRush, Sugar House, Bet Rivers. They do the contest for all those guys. So believe me, they can handle gigantic volume of contests. That grading and contest and all that stuff, that's all a non-issue at this point. We can automate that and make it be totally, totally awesome. For me, it's about the contest itself. And, last year, the guys that won the contest that we brought in, they're not even here anymore, right? Isn't that the way? I can't even tell you. Keegan was one of the guys. He lasted in Pablo. They lasted Keegan lasted like a month. Pablo lasted like 2 or 3 months. It's like, we're looking for long-term solutions, and for guys that are professionals, we're not looking for, for hacks. And I think there's so many hacks out there, I mean, there's a lot of people that are great game pickers. There's a ton of them, but there's more to it than that. It's like, you can't take a pass. You can't put your picks in at the last minute. There's all these different things that are part of being fair to the people that buy your picks. It's like you can't tell people, you know, well, I'm just going to put in picks whenever I want, keep checking all day long, you know, for your picks. It's like you have to say all the picks are in by this time. You know, if you check it this time, you're good, you know? And then it's like, hey, I missed this one. You gave out this pick and that one, and I didn't get this. And it's like, you know, I don't want to do that to people. It's a lot different being on this side of things than just being out there giving out picks, you know, and free picks and all that other stuff. You have an obligation, you know? I think with the free picks, it's like you do the best you can. When you can, how you can, and you do it. And, you know, we always do everything full tilt, you know. But with the premium side, it's like these people have paid money. It's like you have an obligation, man. I don't know about you guys, and well, I do know about you guys. We work hard for our money. Everybody does, whether you're, I mean, what you guys see on the air from Chris and I is, you know, the tip of the iceberg of what our day looks like. I mean, I'm up at 5 o'clock every day, you know, every single day. And I go to bed at like 11:30 or something at the late, you know, or later. So every day for the last 15 years, you know, you have some troll thing talking about like how you're, you know, trying to guess what your life is like. It's pathetic, man. Anyways, so I don't know about the contest. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm leaning against. But I would like to bring on cappers. If people are legitimate, you know, have a legitimate pick history, have been on YouTube and haven't, like, you know, don't follow and, you know, aren't part of the community of the people that we hate. I think to me, that's the biggest part of it. It's like, I don't want to be around people I don't trust. I think I think we've been roasted enough. Chris has been with me long enough to know we've been roasted enough times. I don't want to be around people or work with people that are around that would trust people that I don't trust. You know, that's really what it comes down to, is trust, you know, because there's a lot that goes into it. A lot, man. And it's all about trust. Anyways, there's nothing worse than like being betrayed. There's no worse feeling. And it's like, it might be, you know, someone stealing from you outright, or it might be someone just, you know, breaking their contract and just because they're doing what they feel like they're doing, or some friend told them to do this, you know, but they're breaking the agreement that they had with you. Either way, man, they've broken your trust. It's like, it will not be regained. So to give that out randomly now, I'm less likely to do it. When we bring on these cappers, you know, so to run the contest itself, you know, to run the contest itself costs thousands and thousands of dollars, you know, to get people to grade the contest, to manage the contest, to run the contest, all that stuff. Especially last year, it was super expensive when you know, and then we bring the cappers on board and then they don't stick. I'd rather I could buy t-shirts I could give away 5,000 t-shirts on this show, and it would be to everybody that just wanted one. I could just give out the first 5,000 people, give out a t-shirt and mail it to you and pay for everything. It'd be cheaper than running the contest. And we don't have much to show for it. We got Jay this year though, from, you know, he didn't win, but we ended up getting him. And so that kind of, you know, that's you know, the silver lining. The year before, and we got Mills too, as well. The year before we got Jovan and James Clark. So, you know, we've had home runs too. I don't know. Tough call. What do you think, Chris? Contest, no contest?
I'm sort of on the fence too about it, because I agree with you. It is about trust and, you know, wanting to make sure you get the right people on board and for the right reasons. You know, it's that old adage that it takes 10 years to build a reputation, 10 seconds to destroy it, and you put the trust in the wrong hands.
It's just it's hard because I want to do it.
Yeah, no, of course, but it's like you said, it's just one bad experience can kind of sour you from it, no matter how much you want to do it.
What's the problem? Beef between sports betting companies. I don't think any of them have a beef with each other. I think I just have a beef with all of them. I think that works because they're all. I mean, I a lot of it I could get into the specifics, and other of it there's no reason to even bother to go there at this point. And then other parts of it, I think I'm legally. I signed legal documents. I'm not allowed to tell you the truth. Well, I guess I can tell you the truth, but it's like then it goes into like. Is it defamation? Is it whatever? Because they don't want you to tell that they don't want the truth to be told because believe me, you guys would be mortified. Anyways, I like Framber. Minnesota Twins against the Boston Red Sox. This show has really taken a different turn, hasn't it? Twins versus Red Sox. Chris Archer against Cutter Crawford. What do you think here, Chris? That was just, off one question, right? Yeah, this happened.
It happens from time to time. I think anybody who's watched this.
I think because I'm so torn on it, I want to give people the chance. I want to bring on more cappers. I think what we did is we forced everybody else's hand on diversity.
Yeah.
Right? We forced their hand on it. It was like, nobody had what cappers were before us were a bunch of white guys. That's what it was. Before us. And now they're all, scrambling.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't, I come from the melting pot of melting pots. I don't see any of that stuff. So it never really made sense to me.
Yeah, but for anyways, we'll go back to this one. I like the over. I got no because I don't want to stir that melting pot, but I like the over here. I see Cutter Crawford on one side. Maybe I'll lean towards the Twins as well. I see Cutter Crawford on the side for the Red Sox, and it's just 13 runs allowed in his last 8 1/3 innings, 21 hits given up, and the Twins finally started to get back on track a little bit. Winners of 4 in a row. I think this is where we're going to start to see the Twins take it a little bit more seriously, knowing that the division race is still in reach, and so is the wild card. The Red Sox, again, to me, last night just looked unmotivated, and I think tonight's no different. I don't love Chris Archer, but I think the Twins bats find a way to get the win in this one.
I think what we're seeing from the Twins is that this is like a dangerous team in the late innings, and it's like if they can be competitive. If they can be competitive in the game and they can get it to the 6th inning, like in a tie game or a 1 or 2 run game, then they fully believe that they can win the game, especially at home. On the road, they haven't had that kind of luck, but at home they have. I'm going to stick with the Twins in this one as well. I think the over is okay. Raven Ron. Twins Red Sox over. I'd say possible. Jay Briggs. See, there's the argument for the capper contest, right? There's the argument for the capper contest. Is Jay, right? So hard, man. I don't know. I'm probably gonna have it. Everyone knows it. I got to talk to my business partners and see what we can do as far as them coming up with a good system for it. I'll ask them if they'll build me a system for it. I think they already have it built. I think that the problem is that now that our company is this big, Chris, it's like everything's going to have to be like this legal document, like thick packet of crap that, yeah, check here to agree to the terms of service, It's like that's the way that things are now because of the size our company is. It's like, if you ever had told me we'd have 85 people on one side of the business and then like another, 300, 400 that we're affiliated with as well. That's, that are also part of our company. I would have never believed it. Got the White Sox and the Royals. I hate the White Sox guts. I'm taking the Royals on spite alone, but don't even need to go on spite alone. I can go because I think the Royals are the better team. They have the better pitcher and they're better people. Chris, what do you think?
Better people. That was good. I like that. No, I'm taking the Royals as well. I mean, for me, it's been just about Lucas Giolito not pitching well at home, and that's home field for whatever reason has been sort of a more of a detriment than it's been an asset for the White Sox this season. Brady Singer a 1.79 ERA across his last 7 starts. I think he just helps guide the Royals to a win here. I think the White Sox, as much as I like the talent on that roster, they're just starting to sort of fall out of favor with me now. 3rd in the AL Central. Was it now 5 games back? They're going to need some help down the stretch, but I don't know. I don't think this is a spot where that help comes. I like the Royals and the plus money.
Take the Royals. Thank me later. That's what I got to say about that one. Thank me later. Oh, man. Lost my schedule. Where am I? Okay. Brewers, the Tigers, the White Sox just stink, man. As a White Sox fan, I don't even like to talk about them anymore. Are you done with baseball? Do you feel done, like, with this season? Like, now the football's starting, do you feel like sort of done with it? Like, you're just, all right, baseball, it kind of like carries us through the summer. But really, when it comes time for like the World Series, if they run it up against Monday Night Football, I'm watching Monday Night Football. And the same thing with, I have multiple TVs, but the big TV will be football. And I'm not alone out there.
I'm not necessarily done with baseball, but I'm checking out a little bit. I'm not as invested as it was.
Well, maybe this will do it for you. We got the Brewers taking on the Pirates. It's Jason Alexander against Mitch Keller. What do you think of this? If that doesn't make you done with baseball, then nothing's going to do it. So we'll start to believe you.
I don't know. It'll still, this is one that's probably adding to my checking out. But I will look at the over in this one. Mitch Keller, not necessarily the pitcher that I was sort of hoping would carry forward his success. At the beginning of the month, he's struggled in his last couple of appearances, and Jason Alexander, there's a reason he's not staying in and out of this Brewers rotation. I think this is one where the offenses show up to play. I think the Brewers maybe get the better end of the offense here, but I like the over 9 in this one.
Yeah, my sources say no about this game. I was going to say, what do you think of the Brewers-Pirates game? My sources say no. I have a great idea. The PickDawgz 8-ball. And it could say things. It could have like all these sayings like Stone Cold Lock, Vegas, freaking Vegas. It'll say like thank me later, like all these things like that, right? That'd be funny. I'll take a Ruffalo on that one. Got to talk to someone. Capper's 8-ball. Not a bad idea. Yeah, this game sucks. Brewers-Pirates. This is terrible. Last night, the Pirates had a chance. They had gotten to Burns and looked to be pretty good shape, and then the Brewers came roaring back. But maybe we can ask the Colonel for some sage advice. He does have the bucket of chicken.
Do you remember when we devoted a whole 10 minutes of a morning show trying to figure out the 11 herbs and spices?
Believe me, I've spent a lot more than just the morning show trying to figure that one out. I know one thing. One thing we were all in agreement on that one. Salt is definitely one of them. When it comes to that, I like the over in the Brewers-Pirates. I think this one's going to be just a mess. Speaking of a mess, we've got Zach Gallen and Aaron Nola going at it in Arizona. Gallen one of the most underrated pitchers of our generation up against Aaron Nola. Zach Gallen has pitched. So I don't know when it happened, but I'm going to guess he's gone 27 innings without allowing a run.
Yeah.
For Zach Gallen, and Aaron Nola on the other side has actually pitched pretty well too. Except for 2 times out ago when the Mets raked him over the coals for 5. I don't know. I took the D-backs yesterday. I gave it out as a premium pick. Those of you that don't have my long-term packages did not get that one. But those of you that did, well, you were cashing, parlaying it up with the Angels, and having a nice day with it. But what do you think here about this thing? You think the Phillies recover, or do you think, do they do what they normally do? Just put their head between their legs and cry?
Yeah, I think they put their legs between their heads and cry, and I think they fold like a cheap tent. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the under here. I like the under a lot today. Like you mentioned, Zach Gallen, that 27 in a third innings shutout streak. I don't know if it'll last forever, but I'm gonna ride it while I still can. And Aaron Nola has historically this season done his best work on the road. Nine out of his last 10 road starts, he's allowed 2 runs or less. I wouldn't be surprised if this game, if you can find a 5-inning total under a half a run, I would take it, because I could easily see this being a 0-0 game into the 7th or something, kind of like we saw with Nola when he faced the Mets and Jacob deGrom on the other side that finished 1-0. That kind of game wouldn't surprise me here either. So, yeah, give me the under in this one all day.
We were on the opposite sides of this one yesterday, and the thing is like, did you think the Phillies had just like turned a corner? Did you think they were a better team? Because to me, what I saw was a team that beat the Reds and Pirates at home. And I saw a Diamondbacks team that went into Chicago and really made quick work of a White Sox team that absolutely needed to sweep that series. And, the Diamondbacks are playing some of their better baseball. And I mentioned it about a month ago. Madison Bumgarner said, this pitching staff is really coming together. Of course, he's not contributing to that coming together part of it. But at the same time, the D-backs have been pitching well overall, and they have been playing well and coming up with the clutch hits. I mean, the Phillies could not find the plate last night, but Aaron Nola is going to have to go deep into this game because the pen was worked over.
Yeah.
And reworked over. I mean, they had 50 pitches in the 4th.
Yeah.
50 pitches in the 4th inning. Not 50 pitches by the 4th inning. I meant in the 4th inning, there was 50 pitches.
Yeah. What I saw in that game was I saw Suarez, who'd pitched a lot better on the road than he did at home over the course of the season, against Madison Bumgarner, who had been struggling over the last month. Again, didn't do any favors for his ERA last night. I just thought, the Phillies build up enough of a lead that they can ride it out. Suarez, gives 5-6 capable innings. They coast to the win there, but he got in trouble in the 3rd and the 4th, and then ultimately in the 5th. And that was sort of what did the Phillies in. And it was just one of those games where you kind of just can't be mad that, I thought I was on the right side of it. It looked like it early on, and then it's a 9-inning game for a reason. So,
yeah, I mean,
took my lumps. They
gave up only 10 hits, the Phillies pitching staff, on 179 pitches.
Yeah.
10 hits. 13 runs. 13
walks
runs.
The walks and the hit batters with the bases loaded were the problem.
Yeah.
I think there were at least, I think there were 2 hit by pitches and a couple of walks as well when the bases were loaded. That's where 3 or 4 of those runs came from. So not doing any favors.
Each side had a hit batter.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Diamondbacks threw 161 pitches in that game themselves. So there was a lot of pitching going on in that game, 13-7. Madison Bumgarner threw 79 pitches in 3.2 innings. So both these pitchers are going to be counted on to keep the bullpens off the field. I like the Diamondbacks. It's just a pure fate of the Phillies, really, nothing more, nothing less. We're going to call it what it is. A play based on spite and hatred. Speaking of spite and hatred, we've got the Angels taking on the Yankees. Mike Myers on the mound for the Angels and Jamison Taillon on the mound for the Yankees. I gave out the Angels yesterday. Ohtani with the bomb, in that game was the difference maker. I think that the public, my justification on giving the pick out as a premium was, I think the public underestimates just how bad the Yankees' problems are. Because we've seen, since the All-Star break, they have not been a good team. And we've seen, now this is their second real slump that they've been in. You go to Oakland and lose a pair back to back. And now things are not good. I mean, the Yankees were struggling. They kind of put it back together for a couple of games, but since the All-Star break, it's been more struggles than good from the Yankees. They have not been, I don't know who has the best record since the All-Star break, but it's not the Yankees.
I think it's, I think it might be the Cardinals. I'll do some digging on that. But for this one, I like the over. I just think that, Jamison Taillon really starting to run out of gas after a strong start to the year. And he said that the Yankees are just, they had a nice stretch and they're still hitting the ball fairly well. But I don't know. I'm not trying to lay juice with this Yankees team, even against the Angels, but I also expect Mike Myers to get to take his lumps in this one as well. I think this could be another spot for an Aaron Judge home run. He hit one last night. I think he hit another one tonight. So lean towards the over with a Judge home run thrown in there as well.
Yeah, Yankees one of the worst records since the break. I hate the Yankees. I like fading them. Outside of that, though. We got one more game left. It is the Giants and the Padres again, right?
Yeah.
So the lights went out in San Francisco last night. They came back on, and I don't know. I think Carlos Rodon has a lot of explaining to do this year. Personally, I think he's going to have to come back next year with a big season for the Giants, or he should give some of the money back. I mean, it's just at this point not fair. What do you think of this one, Chris? The Giants taking on the Padres.
Yeah, these are two pitchers in Webb and Snell that I was actually, fairly high on over the last month, but recent starts have kind of soured me on both. Blake Snell in his last couple of outings allowing 9 runs in just over 9 innings of work. And Logan Webb, well, I always said that there was one place that Logan Webb was usually a safe bet. It was at home. It hasn't been like that lately. He's allowed 4 or more runs in 4 of his last 6 starts. I think there's a spot where total only at 7.5. I think the offense has come alive here again. I think we get a higher scoring game. I might also take a first 5 over in this one, but I'll go with the over 7.5 full game.
I'm going to go with the Giants here. I think that they had the momentum. When the game was over, when the game was ending, and I think they bounced back here. I'm not a big Blake Snell guy, and I think he should be a long reliever at this point. But that wraps it up. We'll go to our parlay section. Chris, what do you got for us?
All right, for my parlay today, I'm going to go with the over between the St. Louis Cardinals and Cincinnati Reds. I'm going to go with the Kansas City Royals here, and I'm going to go with the Braves team total over.
I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Reds. I'm going to take the Chicago Cubs Blue Jays over, and I'm going to go with the Atlanta Braves. Thank me later. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for bearing through 2 shows. And anything that we said that was off topic or off subject, well, I guess I apologize for nothing. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Make it a winner.